NBC2's Joseph Ojo is live outside the home off Palm Beach Boulevard with the breaking news. Joseph?
Well, the scene has since cleared, but luckily for that family, their garage was not attached to this home. Investigators were focusing on two cars in the middle of the street, as well as this home that you are seeing right now. Well, that worker was just coming to the Wendy's drive-thru here on Lee Boulevard to just get some food, and then moments later, things quickly changed. When they were slammed into, the driver veered off the road and then after took off. But tonight, investigators need your help to find that driver. Well, we are on Strasburg Drive in Port Charlotte, where there is an active investigation going on right now. Let's give you a look right now at this white home. Well, imagine driving, then all of a sudden being choked from behind. Well, that was the reality for one Uber driver. Well, the remaining O'Leary kids remain in DCF custody tonight after that 18-month-old was found unresponsive. In just the past couple of minutes, the tape has come down, and those two cars that were involved in a crash have been since taken away by the tow truck. Well, we're on Palm Avenue, not too far from Hampton Street, and right now, as you can see behind me right here, crime scene tape surrounds this road. It was in this ditch where that woman was left for dead. She is now out of the hospital and recovering, and her husband has some strong words for that teenager. One of the brothers that I spoke with said he and his brother was around the bonfire just listening to music, and that got their next door neighbor mad. He even pointed a gun at them and fired a warning shot. The next time you walk into any strip club, any sex shop, or massage parlor in Charlotte County, you could see something different. People we spoke with say on Tuesday, deputies took over Apple Street. A teen was exchanging shoes with another teen that he knew. He was robbed and then facing down the barrel of a gun. The woman that I spoke with said she could hear constant honking going on outside of her home. So she came outside to find Griffin right here in the middle of the road, passed out behind the wheel, and not a single car that honked at him could wake him up. To leave behind a trail, these two didn't get that memo. A deputy driving by this pile of trash decided to go and do some digging. This is the home behind me where that victim tells me he was hit, punched, and dragged all across his floor. He says he was hit so hard that he was knocked unconscious and taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. A drunk Christy Johnson was a tough match for Kenneth Drake.
She was grabbing bottles and just chugging like a sailor on leave.
Drake says on Monday night,
I wanted to watch Monday Night Football, and she didn't think that was right.
His wife's friend Johnson was over their home chugging alcohol like a madman.
Alcohol is her downfall.
Trying to keep the peace with Johnson, the two gathered around and called on dead spirits.
We just sat around, we lit some candles and everything just to calm her down.
But that didn't help, and Drake says in a matter of seconds, he became a punching bag.
She kicked me right in the testicles. Very hard. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Drake said he was grabbed by his hair, dragged, scratched, bit, and he had his head banged on concrete floor by Johnson.
I still got a really bad headache, and I can barely turn my neck, and I'm walking like Charlie Chaplin.
The beatdown left him unconscious, and he had to be taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
I know it sounds kind of funny now to everybody, but no, it's all over Monday Night Football.
This isn't Johnson's first time making headlines. In March, she left her 5 kids, including her then 20-day-old twins, in the family minivan as she drank at a bar.
She was texting us and telling us that she found Jesus and everything. She wouldn't do this again. She'd never... So we let her back into our lives again.
Now Drake says he regrets his decision. Afraid Johnson will never change, he vows he's never getting knocked out again.
She wants to hit and drink and fight. Well, you know, I'm not going to hit a woman, but I'm not going to get beat up again by a woman.
And the victim tells me Johnson is never allowed back in his home. Johnson was charged with battery. In Charlotte County, Joseph Ojo, NBC2. But in reality, these athletes must first be admitted into school, pay their way through, and then only they could be on a roster spot on the club team.
Hey, good luck, y'all. Hey, good luck. See you out there. Good out there. Congratulations. Go Eagles.
Tweet after tweet showing athletes across the country posting that they have been offered a spot on the FGCU Eagles football team.
We're not offering any money. We're not offering any scholarships, anything like that.
The problem is FGCU doesn't have a collegiate team, only a club team. School officials say more than 100 athletes were promised offers to attend FGCU and play football from a volunteer coach of the club team. His name is Kevin Van Duser.
Pretty much the offer is literally just an offer to come play football and try out, pretty much. That's what the offer is.
Van Duser denied our on-camera interview, but in a statement told us that he never misled athletes. He says in his recruitment message he detailed his program was a club and not affiliated with the university or the NCAA. He also went on to let athletes know that they can post about being offered a roster spot and not a full scholarship.
Yes, you have to apply to the school, go through all the applications, and get accepted in order to play club football and stuff like that.
Of all the players I messaged today to ask if they were misled by Coach Van Duser, only one said, quote, his message made it sound like it was a real college program. A current FGCU club football player, Nathan Paris, tells me the team is now facing being dropped by the university. He and others aren't happy.
Our goal from the beginning was to get exposure.
And FGCU tells us they have no plans to have a Division I college program. The university has not said what will happen to Van Duser, but Van Duser tells me he has lawyered up. In the studio, Joseph Ojo, NBC2.